That is how intense it is in here today.
I have covered just about every available square inch with some kind of crafting supply.
Snack. Would you like some peanut butter honey Oreo bars?
Oh, I would.
Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is...
Diana.
I think it's episode 295.
I hope so. That's what my sign says.
I put in a request for confirmation, and I think you went, yep, and we didn't double check. We're doing great.
Well, it said 294 before, and I changed it, so, I think that's correct.
I think it's right. It is the last Sunday in November for recording, so this is our last recorded episode for the year, because next month, it's all live. Baby.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. So while Diana lets everybody know what we're going to cover this week, I'm going to drink some more of my coffee.
I closed the doodad that had my show notes in it. That was very foolish of me. We've got What's in Our Cup, Woolly Workings, and Wool Gathering. I mean, it's the same that we have every week, so you'd think I'd remember it by now, but,
That's fine.
Never.
I've got some decaf coffee in my daughter mug. It is decaf espresso, which sounds ridiculous till you realize it makes a really nice dark cup of coffee.
I understand, but it does sound funny.
Sounds funny, but it means I can have a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night and don't have a panic attack and still sleep properly. And the sleeping thing was never an issue for me in caffeine. Caffeine induces panic attacks for me, which is why I've had to stop drinking it. Insert much grumbling here. Much grumbling.
Yeah. But, so, panic attacks are no fun. So...
Oh. They suck a lot. Do not recommend. Do not recommend.
I had precisely one. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10 stars.
I get them a lot. You know me. It's how irritated I get when my body's and I swear dealing with the panic attack, or then I get mad at myself for having one. I'm not mad at other people or the triggers. I get annoyed at myself when it happens. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Cool. That's a thing. All right. You have also coffee, I believe.
I do, yes. I made
of the real variety.
Yes, I made myself a regular caffeinated latte because it's the middle of the day. But it's the afternoon, so I put a shot of pumpkin spice whiskey in it.
That works.
I'm not sure if that was the best. What I actually wanted was pumpkin spice syrup, and the whiskey is basically alcoholic syrup. It's very, very sweet. But I really could have done without the alcohol. The alcohol is not doing anything nice for the coffee.
See, it's Sunday mornings, when I lived in Grand Prairie, my uncle and I would start our Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with Kahlua in our coffee. Or Irish.
I thought about doing that
Bailey's Irish cream also in the coffee. Then we'd go for brunch.
That does sound really nice.
That was a lovely Sunday tradition with my uncle. When I wasn't working. I worked a lot of Sundays, so it didn't happen very often, but when I wasn't working, that's what we did. When I did work, mine did not have adult beveraging in it. But yeah, there's a difference between syrups and adult beverages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you want the syrup, you don't want the extra,
Yeah, turns out today I wanted the syrup, so I'm going to have to make myself some syrup, I think.
Sure. I mean, I would just go buy syrup, but I'm lazy.
I can't be bothered. Like, it's literally sugar and water and spices, and then you ignore it for a while, and then stick it in a jar.
I suspect it's because I have to do so much by hand that whenever I cannot do something by hand, I get really excited and don't do it by hand.
That's fair. I also feel like store-bought syrups end up being really sweet compared to the amount of spice flavor in there, and I like it really, really spicy relative to the amount of sweet. Like, less sweet, more spice.
Whereas, like, what's the one line of pre-made coffee syrups, like the syrup stuff in the containers that I can have is a keto diet friendly called skinny syrups.
They still taste really sweet though.
They're quite sweet. Yeah, which I want. I want the sweetness with just a hint of flavor.
Yeah, and I'm going for a hint of flavor and a hint of sweet.
Yeah.
So I just make my own. It's fine.
just makes me sound so very particular about my food things. Well, I have skinny syrups, guys. I don't care. It's corn free. That's why we get them.
And they're legitimately good. They're like, they're not like,
They're tasty.
yeah, they taste like coffee syrups.
Yep. There's coffee
Sweetener
syrups that just
syrups,
won't
coffee
upset my
syrups?
system.
Feels like not the right word for it. Whatever.
I know they've got some sort of classification. I just don't know what they're called. I mean, we call them coffee syrups because that's what we put them in. But I imagine
Maybe
you can put them in other
feels
things.
weird because it sounds like cough syrup. And I'm like, wait, what? That's not delicious.
I love those Buckley's ads. Awful. And it works. They're not wrong. It's nasty cough syrup, but I buy it and I use it. Why? Because it works.
It's like some genius marketing right there. Like, it's too expensive to make this actually taste like something, so like just work it into the ad campaign. Just own it.
Acknowledge
This is our brand.
This is not tasty, but you know what? It's going to do what you need it to do, which I mean, I super appreciate. Oh, Phaedra, you have 2 blankets in here. Why are you on this one? The squishier one's over there. Okay, cool. Oh, goodness. All right.
Because you're talking to yourself again, therefore you need company.
Always. She always thinks I need company. Goodness gracious. What's next? We're doing stuff. Hello, kitten.
Woolly Workings.
Woolly, you
And
have more than I do.
Yeah, in a lock your doors, hide from the zombies
Situation.
moment, I have more things, or at least more things I can talk about.
Or as I like to
'Cause,
call
you know,
it, the end of November, Diana's realized there's Christmas presents that need to be done season has begun.
Yes, it's also the end of the month panic crafting season.
Which it's always, I always have the least number of projects just before all of the live check-ins.
I will get to Christmas presents in a bit. I will start with the boring things that people already know about.
Okay, I'm gonna keep crocheting.
I worked on a little bit on the 4-hour cardigan for our fall equinox knit along, make along, craft along, whatever. The fall equinox one.
Guys, I swear she helps me name these things. I swear she helps me.
I know. Anyway, I was saying something. Oh, I think I only did like 2 rows on this. I should have put a stitch marker on it. Not stitch mark, progress keeper. Should have put progress keeper on it. Did not think that, but I'm pretty sure I only did like 2 rows. Mostly because I discovered a mistake on my way back on the previous row, and I'm like, no, it's gonna bother me. Because it would be like in the middle of my back panel. I'm like, no, it's gonna bother me.
It will.
So I ripped back and fixed it. So I've actually done like 4 rows. 2 of them were redos. Anyway, so I did a little bit of work on the 4-hour cardigan by Crochet with Carrie. It's a free pattern. What else? Oh, yarn. I have 80 billion yarn names in my head, but none of them are the correct one. Briggs and Little.
Yes.
Briggs
Brown
and Little.
Heather.
Regal?
One of us is Regal and one of us is Heritage. We just can't remember which one's which.
Yep. Anyway, 100% slightly scratchy wool, rustic wool. Not like it's slightly scratchy, but not like too scratchy to be next to skin, at least in my opinion.
It has got a good hardiness to it.
Yes, I am so excited to have this cardigan. I'm really hoping that I actually do finish it on time, because then I have it for Christmas, and I think that'll be so nice.
That's my goal. But my goals are many and vast and huge.
Okay, that's my first thing.
That's your first thing? Well, I suppose I should talk about my 4 cardigans, since, you know, that's how these things go. I highly recommend a progress keeper when you're doing the back panel, because otherwise it feels like you're never going to be done because the rows are so long.
Yeah.
While we record, I've picked up my front panel for my 4 cardigan. Mine's in the blue-gray heather from Briggs and Little. It says gray heather. It's definitely a blue-gray.
It's definitely blue.
This is literally, I finished 1 row. Like, that's it. That's all I've had time to pick up on it. So I'm going to work on it while we record, because, oh my goodness, I was supposed to be done this front panel and into my second front panel this week. So I am behind.
Yeah, so am I. It's fine.
It's not the end of the world. It's just irritating because I don't like being behind.
I have no idea how I'm going to finish mine on time because I also want to do your MCAL next month with the advent calendar.
Well, you know the designer. Would you like that MCal early so you can start working on it now?
No, because I don't have time now. I'm doing Christmas presents. I'll do it on time with everybody else.
I can't help you after that.
No, I don't. Because I mean, the first clue, because you're doing them in 3-day chunks, right? So the
Yeah.
first clue wouldn't come out till day 3 anyway.
But
Technically, I mean,
the first clue's going to come out the 1st of December, but then the next clue won't come out till the 4th of December.
okay, I see how
Yeah,
that works.
yeah. That's just because, without fail, we will all have stuff to do in December, like Christmas parties. And if you're me, going to watch the Christmas nativity telling the story of the birth of Jesus at several churches, and family events, and visiting, and like there's going to be things going on in December. So I liked the 3-day intervals. That way, like if you knew you had something happening like day 3, you could do day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 1 and day 2, so you didn't have to worry about it on day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, which just for me made sense. Or you could be like, but then you've only lost like 2 days, and on day 3 you can cram in all 3 days.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't want to send that many email updates because it drives me nuts when people do that. I'm like, stop emailing me. I understand I signed
do
up
you
for
have to
this.
do that
Stop
manually?
yeah.
When...
I
Cool.
have
Yeah,
to
that's
process as an
annoying.
update every time.
You've got better things to do than email updates every single day.
I have 4 to 5 hours max screen time. I don't want to use an hour and a half of that every day. The first chunk of December to sending
No.
updates to people so that they can look at their screen and go, stop emailing me. I'm not done yesterday's clue. So I'm trying to streamline that for both of our mental sakes. I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it that way. I can't. But 7 days seemed like too long to wait. Because then they're huge clues. That seems way too daunting. Way too daunting. Because that's where I lose steam in the Stephen West Cals, is because it's so much knitting.
Yeah.
But
Like you're like, oh, I'm just gonna, you just do this part for 14 repeats of this 6-row repeat. Oh, okay.
Whereas if you just
Gonna
broke
be here
that
a while.
down to a daily amount, it's quite achievable. But just it feels overwhelming. It's like sweaters. They feel like huge projects, but when you break them down, they're not actually that hard. I'm actually using my everyday slouchy hat as my coaster for under my coffee cup, so it doesn't make sounds when I pick it up and put it down.
Nice.
Guys, that's how it works. Okay, you get to go again.
I get to go again. Okay. I
You have more stuff
worked
than I
some
do.
more on Mr. Diana's sock, and I finished the heel.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Which is there's not a huge amount of progress compared to last week.
A heel is technically more difficult than the rest of the sock.
According to my progress keeper, I was 2 rows before the heel last week. And now I've done the heel, and I had Mr. Diana try them on, and it seems like they fit nice. So now I just get to go zoop up the leg, and yeah. And then there's a sock. And then I have to do a second sock.
That's usually how socks go. You want a pair of them.
Generally, they do want to go in pairs. So this is just a plain vanilla sock, wedge toe. I did the even heel from Nikki Knits because it doesn't involve counting. The Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is my other favorite heel, involves just a tiny bit of counting, and I didn't feel like counting. That was 2 brain cells more than I had.
Hey, I proved you could do a mock short row heel in the car.
Well, you can. I screwed up when I tried the mock short row heel, and I was just sitting right here. So one side of the heel is significantly longer than the other by like a lot. It was also my first time doing it, so you have to allow for screwing up your first time.
Oh yeah, the first time you do something, it's not going to be excellent. That's not how it works.
But I didn't feel like learning something new this time, so I just did a heel I already knew.
That's fair.
And the yarn is it's Fireweed Fiber Co. Bird colorway.
Red wing blackbird.
Red wing blackbird. Thank you. There we go. I knew I'd get there eventually. So
By the time Mr. Diana's socks are done, I will have the colorway named memorized.
Yep. So there we go. There's half a sock.
I'm actually contemplating taking my skein of Red Wing Blackbird with me to my sister's house for after Christmas, because my parents won't be in town till after Christmas since my dad works at a church, so he won't be coming down till Boxing Day. And talking to my niece's boyfriend, who has put in a request for wool socks. So I will take that colorway to him and some cardboard because I will need to make a foot for him. I don't have
Yes.
any problem knitting for this kid. It's fine. It's not an issue. He's a very polite teenager. And he eats his vegetables without complaining. So I feel like that makes you knit worthy at 17.
Yeah, holy, eating vegetables without complaining.
Well, he'll be 17 in February, so I won't promise that they'll be there for his birthday because I don't do that with socks. But I will promise him a pair of socks. It's just can't guarantee when they'll show up.
The birthday might be here's a picture of your socks.
Here's a picture of
in
the sock
progress.
I've finished so far. Because the boy is 6 foot plus, so he's going to have large boy feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fine because I have like 20 to 35 grams left over. 25 to 35 grams left over when I do a sock at my size. So you can totally, or is it closer? No, it might even be closer to 40 grams sometimes for socks. So like I can make
There will be
him
enough.
a full pair of socks. That's fine. But if he likes the mini, I'll have to bug Aaron if I don't have a mini here. Go, hey, can I get another mini of this color whenever you make minis? No rush. All right, I suppose I have to go again, don't I?
It is your turn.
She got up, she got pets, she walked over to the other blanket, lied down on the blanket, snorted, sneezed, got back up, came back over here, and put her head on my foot. Really?
So the other blanket's not as good.
Apparently, it lacks a foot.
It does.
All right, because I don't want to end on a bad note. We're going to talk about the fiber flip now.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's have it.
So I was working on my hat. There's no name. The name of the yarn is octopus ink, and the only reason I know that is because it had the ball band shoved in the middle of it. Past Jocelyn was a genius when she did that. But you guys saw last week, like I had a cast on and I was working on a hat, right? So I made some progress.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot of hat.
Yeah.
But the only way to hide my spectacularly this is not what a increased crown thing should look like is to put a pom-pom on it, and I hate pom-poms. Okay, I don't hate pom-poms. I am strongly indifferent to pom-poms. So that's not going to work.
Strongly indifferent.
So it's not going to work. So I'm like, why am I reinventing the wheel? I don't design hats. I don't really wear hats. What is wrong with me? Why don't I just take the everyday slouchy or the sock head hat or actually bother to go figure out where I saved my muscle burl hat pattern and just do one of those? Because I can just do it in reverse. I could just start at the crown instead of decreasing, increase when they have you decrease.
Yeah.
What am I doing? What am I doing? So I need to rip this, but I wanted to show everybody, look, I actually got through a chunk of hat. This was all
It's a very
while
nice looking chunk of hat.
This was while I was recording because we were up here. So I did like all of this while I was editing this week. So like hats go real fast, especially when they're just a nice stockinette hat. So that's fine. Oh, so much hair. That's not a problem. But look at how this is working up. Look at this octopus ink working up.
It looks so nice.
Ignore the super chip nail polish, guys. I didn't have time to do my nails this week.
It's fine. The yarn's pretty.
The yarn is very pretty. So this has to happen. Mostly because these are also boy colors. I just want a better crown thingy because the boyfriend is getting into hunting, which he's status. So like he's got a card he can, and it's a part of his culture. So I want to make him some knits that he can wear while he's out hunting so he can stay warm. Because again, 16, 17-year-old boy, there's no width. It's just lanky frame. They're both very tall, skinny creatures, the pair of them. Now, is he sweater knit worthy? I don't know yet. He hasn't been around long enough for me to want to do that for him. But my niece loves her knits. And he keeps eyeballing them. And he's been around for, oh gosh, a year and a half now. So he's been around. He's around long enough for hats or socks or mitts and stuff, right? Little things. Which again, legit Socks don't actually take that long. I just take forever to do them. So that's a thing. So I think I'm gonna do the everyday slouchy beanie, which I brought over because I've made it before, because I made this one out of this blue stuff, right? Again, more Aran yarn, guys. So I think
It's almost like we have a small obsession.
It's not small, it's huge. She gave us a permanent discount code for everybody to have.
This is yeah.
It's in the show notes, guys. Save money.
Okay, maybe not a small obsession, it's maybe a big obsession.
Big obsession. Yeah, and we both know what our sock club for next year is going to be, and we're like, yep, cool, take our money. I'm so excited for next year's. This year's not even done, and I loved this year's. I'm so excited for next year's. So, like, I could just make another everyday slouchy, which I'm literally using this as my coaster today, guys. Don't ask. It's just how my week's gone. But I think I may do like a sockhead slouch with that octopus ink yarn. I could make a really good sockhead slouch.
Yeah.
I just want to do it in reverse. I want to do it from the crown down. So we shall see. We shall see. That's my second project. I'm gonna pick up my crochet again.
Okay.
Ooh, it make a lot of noise.
I can start talking about some of the Christmas presents. Ooh.
Now I've got one more thing to talk about, then I'm done.
I have two more things.
Okay.
So a couple of months back, my brother requested that I make a sweater for his cat. Yep. And that was going to be too freaking adorable not to do. So I'm making a cat sweater.
It is adorable. I've made cat sweaters. They're so cute. I made a crochet cardigan for Mr. Smokey.
I started this
yesterday.
I started this yesterday.
I was like, you were at Michael's yesterday and you got the yarn. So you started that yesterday.
Yeah, I got the yarn on Thursday. I went to Michael's. There's acquisitions later. And then I did a swatch Friday night because the pattern I'm using is it's the Perfect Fit dog sweater. Let me get the name right. It's a free pattern and it's more of a recipe. So you have to knit a gauge swatch and then measure your pet. And then like plug in all the numbers. Yeah. It's all done in a very nice, straightforward worksheet format. And then like the numbers are color coded and everything. So like it's nicely done.
Good. The
pattern is called Perfect Fit Top-Down Dog Sweater.
Yeah.
It's got like 2,000 projects on Ravelry. Yeah.
Cats are a bit different than dogs, but not too different.
And like the way it's written, you could make it for literally any pet that is vaguely dog-shaped.
Vaguely dog-shaped.
Like there's some of the project pages have they're like goats or iguanas or like it's not just cats and dogs. So this is going to be Gilbert's little sweater. So you start at the collar and then increase down until you hit like the chest measurements, and then you leave some holes for the front legs. Yep. And then optionally a hole for the leash. Yes. I hope that's roughly at the right spot. You go back later and pick it up and do some ribbing.
Okay.
And then there's two finishing options. You can just do a tube and then end it with ribbing. Or there's the slightly more advanced version, which I think I'm going to do because I neglected to measure how long the cat was. So there's the version where you get to about this point and then you bind off like the bottom half. Yeah. And then like basically the top half becomes a cape.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that version because then it doesn't. What?
You just want to do it because it's a cape.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's not going to look like a cape, but like it's basically a cape. Yeah, so I might like finish this in a day or two.
Yeah, it's not going to take you long.
I'm so surprised. So this is just some Impeccable from, what was it, Loops and Threads?
Yes.
This was the gold colorway.
Ooh, I've got a bunch of that.
It was requested that it be mustard yellow because the cat is like a charcoal, basically black.
Yeah, it'll look good on Gilbert.
Oh, yes. High contrast. Gilbert is a shadow. He knows he's a shadow. He will hide in the shadows. And he knows you can't see him. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Phaedra does that. She climbs into a dark space and then turns around so you can't see any of her white stuff. None of us can find her when she does that.
So
It's gonna look good. Hopefully Gilbert
that
enjoys
sweater,
it.
I'm so excited. And Gilbert does in fact wear sweaters. My brother's been very keen on training the cat to wear clothing.
Of course.
So one little cat sweater.
My
I'm
cat comes
excited.
with clothing. It's called fur. She's fine.
Oh no, Gilbert's a little diva about being chilly.
Yeah.
He likes to go outside on the deck, but he doesn't like that it's cold now.
He needs booties, does he?
Yeah, Gilbert's a little diva.
Yeah. That's all right. I told my sister about the Critical Role Christmas sale.
Mm.
She wanted Christmas ideas, right? So we're on there, we're looking. She's like, oh yeah, I have this and this. And she's like, dog bows. I'm like, and I've lost her. She certainly does dress up her pets in doggy t-shirts and bows and bandanas and stuff. She likes doing that. They have Halloween costumes. I mean, it's a t-shirt that one says bad to the bone and the other says trick or treat.
Amazing.
Yeah. So whatever. It counts.
One Gilbert sweater, approximately half done. Not bad
Yeah.
for a day's work.
I think you're doing really well with that, which is good because then you can knock a Christmas present off the list, which this time of year is a big deal.
Yeah. I have to knit roughly 1 million little mouse toys for everybody's cats.
Mine's good. But if you show up in January with a can of sardines, she'll be very excited.
I can probably manage that. Should find another place to source the little fish treats.
Yes.
So that there can be dry little fish heads everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. Flipping creepy when you're sweeping up your floor and there's a fish head staring at you. Just imagine if I had a Roomba.
Sorry, not sorry.
Cleaning out a Roomba. Why is there a fish head in here? Oh, don't be sorry. They're very healthy and good treats for them, so I don't mind.
That's why it's a sorry, not sorry. I'm like, yeah. I'm a little bit sorry, but also it's too funny to be properly sorry.
Don't be properly sorry. I like that she has very healthy treats and she doesn't get them very often. Like I like that we're not food motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I gotta do my last item, hey?
Yes.
But I'm working on a crochet.
I'm sorry, you gotta talk about your last thing, and then I can talk about my last thing. And then we can get into acquisitions.
Which I don't have to talk about at all.
No,
I didn't fall down
me show today.
I didn't fall down at Michael's this week. All right, so by the time I realized that I was gonna have to rip my hat on Monday, I needed something simple to work in the round because I was grumpy. So I picked up my sock and I did like 4 rounds. I know.
Ooh, I mean, I did heels, so
can you tell? Because I put a progress keeper in. So I did
smart.
that much. So more than 4 rounds, but that's fine, whatever. So I am currently making my way up my leg, and I'm actually almost. And I am almost at the point where I need to start ripping. So I am just about done sock 1. So it takes me a month to do a sock. And I did like almost, what is it, like 80% of the sock in less than 5 days, but it's gonna take the rest of the month just to get the last little bit of the ribbing done, because of course it is. There's no pattern, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a vanilla sock. It's got a garter short, mock short row heel, toe up, and then I'll start working on the second one. This is the errand show today. All of our yard is errand yard.
Except for the sock, actually, I'm not knitting with any Aran yarn today.
The hat and the sock are both Erin yarn today. This is the Snow Globe from Fireweed Fiber Co. It is one of her Christmas colorways. And it is a wonderful sock colorway for me, so I am very happy with it.
I'm healthy, I swear.
Sure.
It's just that last little bit of congestion just hanging on.
Oh yeah, I know. So in theory, I hopefully have a sock done next week. That'd be nice. I'd like to have a sock done next week. It'll feel good to have something done. What you guys can't see is like the pile of whips that live on a side table just off my computer desk on the one side, to the point where I can't use it to put my stuff on for recording anymore. It has to go live over here. And the whole reason for the side table here was to have space to put the stuff for recording. It's going great. Great. I gotta record the state of the whip. I need to get some stuff finished.
I think I have to do mine today.
You have to do it before I do, so I don't know when your schedule is.
Definitely have to do it this week. Cool. All right. I guess it's my turn to talk about my last thing.
It is.
Oh no, but I'm in the middle of a round. Well, okay, so I was having a video call with my parents the other night, and my mom mentioned that she would like a hat. So I dug through my stash and I found some Charisma tweed. Probably from the last time I fell down at Michael's for myself. And I got roughly a sweater's quantity of this blue tweed.
Yep.
So I liberated a ball from that bag. It's becoming just a super duper basic hat. A la 1x1 ribbing, cast on stitches, 1x1 ribbing. I don't know if I'll even do decreases on this hat. I might just cinch it closed at the top.
It's perfect for a cinch closed sort of situation.
And then I knew I still had one of these giant pom-poms in my stash, so I dug that out.
Oh, those giant pom-poms.
It matches the little Tweety bits perfectly in this yarn. So
it'll be a good hat.
Yeah, so it's going to be a cute little super basic hat with a giant pom-pom on it. So that's what I'm working on while we record. It's literally just cast on 52 stitches, 1x1 rib till it's enough hat. Pull the yarn through, cinch it closed, weaving your ends done. Add a pom-pom.
It's a great quick knit.
Yes, well, Mom was not going to get a fingering weight hat at this point. That was not happening.
No.
But Chunky goes real fast.
Yes, it does.
So that's what we're doing. That's it. That's my last thing.
That's it? That's your last thing?
That's my last thing. But then I guess it's time to talk about acquisitions, which is still me.
That goes in the wool gathering section. But we're going to hand out a reminder to everybody at the start of the wool gathering section.
Okay.
I would like to give this big bag of swag away. So if you haven't entered, last week's YouTube has got everything that I crammed into this bag. And there's a lot. And the rules on how to enter in the comment of the YouTube below on last week's episode. So if you haven't done it, get to an entry in this week, because we're going to do the poll for that on the 4th of December, because I would very much like to put that in a box and get Erin to mail that for me, because we don't want me mailing anything. I can't promise it'll show up before Christmas, because really, it's the Christmas rush.
At this point, it probably will not show up before Christmas.
It will likely show up sometime in early January, because that's just how slammed the post office gets, and that's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, enter.
Depending on where it's going.
Episode.
Depending on where it's going, if I put tracking on it, I may talk to the person who wins it, and I may just ship it in January when tracking is more accurate again.
Mm-hmm.
Because this time of year, tracking is just not good. Guys, I'm literally eating peanut butter honey oatmeal bars. They're right there. They're so good.
I'm jealous of your oatmeal bars. I want an oatmeal bar.
You got peanut butter, you got honey, you got oatmeal. Yeah, talk about your purchases.
Okay. Well, first of all, a lovely patron sent me socks.
I know. It's not
I just
amazing.
want to talk about these for a second. Look at these. They're so pretty. The color work and cables. So pretty. So those went on my feet straight away.
Oh, yes.
She actually sent me 3 pairs. The other 2 pairs are just waiting to get worn in the other room. These ones were in here because I think I broke a yarn or I dropped a stitch or something. Some thing happened on the back of one of these, so I just have to do up a little stitch real quick, which is why these ones are in here. But I love them very, very much. They went straight on my feet, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to wear the other ones. I have so many hand knit socks now. It's glorious.
Oh, hand knit socks.
I love presents.
We both love presents.
Okay, that was that acquisition.
I'm wearing my cotton ones that I made for myself. The worsted
nice.
cotton house slippers. They're really good.
I need to close this vent. It is too warm in here. It's toasty. Okay, I went to Michael's on Black Friday, and they had yarn at buy 2 get 1 free.
Yep.
So the yarn that I actually needed, which bag is it in? Which bag is it in? That's where we're at. Russell.
I would like to note that she's like, hey guys, should I get 1 skein of yarn? And most of us replied with, buy a sweater. I'm like, go big, go with a blanket. Like, we hardcore enabled some purchasing.
Oh no, that's absolutely why I posted in the Patreon Discord. Like, people want to help me shop. I know they do.
Boy, do we ever.
And you want to spend my money for me.
Uh-huh.
So I got 2 balls of impeccable navy,
which you needed
to match the patchwork cardigan.
Because Jocelyn wants to see that finished.
Because I figured this matched pretty good. I loved the navy yarn suggestion.
Oh, it was a good one? Okay, good.
Yes. And then, like, I know it's only for the cuffs and stuff, but like, I'm scared. So I got 2.
Just get 2. My brain's like, it's literally navy acrylic yarn. You will find me
use it for something.
Mug rugs. Like,
yeah, there's so much. So
there's so much stuff.
I got 2 of the navy. And then the Gilbert sweater is the gold.
Okay, yeah. So there's your first buy 2 get 1.
And then I was walking around to see what else they had that struck my fancy.
As one does. And
they had a huge bin of the Karen anniversary cakes.
Oh god.
And those were also on the buy 2 get 1 free. And I'm like,
it's my dream
list. It
would
be irresponsible of me to not get the most free yarn possible. Right?
You have no idea how legit jealous I am. I have always wanted to get like a pair of anniversary cakes and make a blanket from them. So bad. I have wanted to do it every freaking year.
So in case you're unaware, the Karen anniversary cakes are a full kilogram of was this size 6 super bulky yarn? A full kilogram. That is 1,061 yards or 970 meters. So this one's called Spice Dots. It's
very cute.
Like gold and gray and I don't know, a coppery burgundy sort of color. Yeah, alternating with white.
I like it.
So they had a whole bunch of these. But I only got 1 because the color that was speaking to me more was actually the same colors, but in a gradient format or a stripe format. So I got it's the same colors, just in a different format. This one's called Sticks and Stones, I think. Sticks and Stones. So I got Russell. So I got 2 of these.
Yep.
And 1 of these. I don't know what they're going to be, but I mean, like, it was absolutely irresponsible of me not to get the most free yarn possible, right?
That's one of those ones that there's enough of it that you can make a sweater.
I absolutely, yeah, that's what I was thinking so I think one of these stripy ones is going to be a sweater. I think this one, the speckly one, might be a blanket.
Okay, yeah.
But a stripy one's going to be a sweater, and I don't know what the other stripy one's going to be.
It'll become something. You have so much room to play with at that yardage. It's just so much yarn.
It's so much yarn.
That's so cool.
So I bought some yarn.
See, the thing is, that should have been the thumbnail.
I didn't think of that. Because I need 2 arms to hold up the yarn, so I can't trigger the picture.
Buttons. Yeah.
So I was also hoping to get a Christmas tree, but by the time I got there, the Christmas trees in the size that I wanted were all sold out, which I'm not surprised because they had a really good deal, which is why I wanted a Christmas tree. But so did everybody else. They only had like 5-foot trees left. I'm like, 5 feet is too big for where I want to put my tree.
Yeah, you need a wee
no more
one.
than 4 feet. Yeah, I need a 3 or 4 foot.
I have one that is almost too tall for me to put the thing on the top. And I love it. In my tiny apartment, guys, I had to like move furniture to make it fit.
Yeah, we don't really have the floor space in our living room the way it's currently configured. So, but we do have a really big like bay window ledge kind of deal.
Okay.
So I want a smaller tree I can put up on the ledge because that can fit just fine.
Yeah, that would
But
work.
like a tree that sits on the floor, we don't really have real estate for.
That's fair.
So that's my acquisitions. Some boring yarn and some exciting yarn.
It's all exciting because I want that freaking patchwork cardigan finished. I don't want to see it on the State of the Whip.
Well, too bad because it's going to be on the State of the Whip because I think I'm recording that later today. It's still going to be around. It's not happening until the Christmas knitting gets finished.
Oh, well. Maybe we'll have... Ooh, but if you get it done in January, it could be the first FO towards your finish 2, start 1 rule for next year.
This is true. It would also go a long way because it's a big bag. It would go a long way to shrinking the pile.
It certainly won't hurt any, which is kind of nice. All right. As you get ready to do your Patreon ad.
Yes. What's my word today?
Can't even pronounce that word. So we'll skip that one for today. And we'll go to this one. We'll go with pretzels.
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 Pretzels. Okay.
This is my only not work knitting time. I must work on this cardigan.
If for some strange reason you would like to financially support these shenanigans, which I will never understand, but I'm super grateful for, you may do so at patreon.com/northernknitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night, enabling each other into
anniversary
spending
cakes.
all the money. Spending my money specifically. But also cheering appropriately when we actually do finish things, and by we I mean everybody else, because we don't finish things. I don't finish things. Jocelyn finishes things sometimes. I don't finish things.
Wait till that bingo card wrap up. You'll be surprised at how much you got done.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some bad crafted after Christmas, isn't there?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. What was I talking about? Enabling each other. We were spending my money. What else was going on? We do monthly hangouts with the people.
Woo!
I'm doing so well today. You know,
we're not only
people,
off the rails, we're the next farmer's field.
we do the things with the people. The next Patreon hangout is going to be on December
Yep.
December the 17th. I
There
was
you go.
October for some reason. We are done with that month. No,
We're
it is-
over October.
yeah. So we'll be doing the 17th of December at noon Manitoba time. Will be our next Patreon hangout.
True story.
I'm tying my brain into pretzels, trying to come up with words.
Nice. Oh goodness. If you want to check out the tiers and see what you can get at different Patreon levels, you can find us on the Patreon page. We have enough going on in the different levels that if we were to list it, we would be here forever.
It's a lot. We have
It's
a lot going on.
We got a lot going on. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you can't financially support, liking, subscribing, commenting, and interacting with us on social media is a great way to get a hold with us and show us what you're working on and what you got in the pipeline, as the case may be. Also to enable us into knit alongs, casting on new patterns,
Spending more money.
spending more money. We like all of these things. We really do. Yeah.
I do love supporting small businesses,
Yeah.
especially if they're crafty.
Especially if they're crafty. So, having said that, we are about to hit the month of lives.
Yeah. I don't have to do show notes after this week.
That's true. This is going to be the last recorded episode, as I was saying at the start. So, all of December, we will be live on Sundays at noon Manitoba time, with the exception of Christmas Day. We will be live the Monday, which is Boxing Day that week, because, well, some people do stuff on Christmas Day. So we will be doing stuff on Boxing Day. There will be extra added bonus videos because we have reached the end of the year, which means you will have every Wednesday in the month of December. Is it every Wednesday or most Wednesdays? I think it's most of the Wednesdays.
The first 4 Wednesdays, I think.
First 4 Wednesdays?
Because we're doing it in 2 parts. Our State of the Whip.
Yeah. You'll have State of the Whip updates, which is Diana or myself talking to you about the whips that we have in our project bundles. Why we
go through this box.
Why we insist on keeping them, or if we're going to frog them. So sometimes I will hold things up, sometimes I will hold things up. We'll talk about it, we like it, but the idea of having to talk to you guys again about them moves them to the frog pile. It's a legit way to make decisions.
I'm going to rewatch my ones from last year so I can remember just how many things in there are still in there.
Good idea, because that really is, for us, it helps keep us honest and keeps us on track. Otherwise, they start to pile up and we don't notice them. And then we turn around and we're like, where's our office? It's gone. What has happened here?
You might notice the small yarn avalanche that's currently on top of mine because I need to organize the nonsense that's up there.
Yeah. I will not be including my designs. I'm considering those separate because they're technically work for me.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
It'll just be all of our personal fun cast on stuff. So we're gonna do that. We also have the bingo card wrap up for this year, which means, Diana, you have to start prepping your bingo card for next year.
Oh, okay.
And if I tell you now, I can make fun of you at the end of December when you haven't made one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right? For me to say I'm going to do stuff and then not do it.
Yes. The content
Good.
I'm
glad we've established this.
Content I live for, people. Additional bonus videos happen haphazardly or randomly. I know I tend to spend a fair bit of the holiday time because my holidays are different from Christian holidays, being free and available to do stuff. So sometimes you guys will find me on Instagram Lives a little more in December because I have that downtime. What else do we got going on? We're cast on for the podcast anniversary, and anniversary will happen on the 1st of January. Yes. Double checking my mental calendar.
That's even a Sunday. Yeah, so perfect.
It's a Sunday. Yeah. So it is time to get ready to celebrate 6 years of YouTubers. That's us. 6 years in March. So January the 1st, we will cast on a project. We'll get the rules and stuff ready so we can start talking about them officially in December for everybody. Mostly because we need to double check with each other to make sure that we know what we're doing.
Did you see that blue screen of death when you said 6 years?
Yes, I did, and I chose to ignore it. The last knit along of the year is wrapping up. That is our fall equinox cal. That'll be done on the winter solstice, which is the 21st of December this year, because Diana has family in town. We're
Yes.
actually going to give everybody a couple extra days. So while officially, air quotes intended, you're done on the 21st, you have till that Sunday to get all of your cals finalized and done up so we can chat about if we finished our winter solstice cal, our fall equinox cal, and what we worked on and what we hoped to or what we did get to work on. So that'll be the last seasonal cal for us until we get to the spring equinox again. Mostly because we literally start a cal in January every year for the podcast anniversary. That seemed like too much. Too much. Because if you think about it, I almost always fall down the rabbit hole and I do a Christmas Day cast on and I do a New Year's Day cast on and I have a podcast anniversary. So technically I can justify 3 cast ons in the next few weeks.
I know what I want my Christmas Day cast on to be, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do it.
But I could easily justify doing a winter solstice and just having 4 new cast ons. I would not get anything finished, so that's not a good idea. So we're just doing the 3. So I don't know if you'll get yours casted on or not Christmas Day. That just depends on how your Christmas Day is structured. Even when my family's in town, our Christmas Day is pretty chill. We're really relaxed.
Yeah, I've been we're not running around doing stuff because I don't even know what there is to run around and do on Christmas around here. Now it's going to be a chill day, but it's more like, will I do a Christmas cast on for myself, or will I be trying to finish the hand knit socks that my dad asked for? And he's my dad, so he's allowed to ask for.
That's not a cast on.
I know it's not a cast on.
That's a work in progress.
I have a limited number of sock needles. I could just buy more sock needles.
You could just also cast on something that isn't a sock.
Well, because I want my Christmas cast on to be the the Midnight Cravings yarn, the white with the speckle, because it looks so cookie like, right?
Did you got latte? Christmas Did you get latte? Yeah, you got latte. Yeah, I got eggnog.
Spice latte. I think I got spiced latte with afternoon tea as a mini.
Yeah,
and I want to do Nikki's coffee shop socks, coffee something, the little cably ones.
More needles.
I could also re-liberate my needles from the Harry Potter mittens.
Yes, again, you can. Yes,
I can do that.
You could. Yes, you could. That's fine. Since I'm the one receiving the Harry Potter mittens, I give you full endorsement to go ahead and do this. I understand that they'll get here when they get here.
It might be a next Christmas present.
Well, it's not going to be my birthday. You're not even on the second mitt yet.
Oh God, no.
That's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'll be excited when mine get here. I'll be even more excited when your pair is done so we can take photos of each other standing side by side with our Harry Potter mittens in our not matching cardigans and our not matching Harry Potter mittens with our not matching Find Your Fade shawls, drinking coffee.
We're gonna be so matchy.
And not match at the same time. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm very excited for this, guys. Or our matching fairy mittens. Just wait till I cast on those fairy mittens because that's gonna happen before you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, I need more of the Harry Potter mitten size needles.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So, all right. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with it. I need to, not buy more needles.
Well, yeah, because you weren't going to cast anything until your whips were done, and I talked you out of that nonsense because that is just a hardcore fail.
Well, at least until my whips all fit in the bin. Because they're currently overflowing the bin and don't all fit in the bin. They're not even all
good. But I'm
in addition to the bin, there's one on the floor and then there's the one on the chair. Actually, there's 2 on the. I don't remember how many are in the bags on the chair right now.
I like the idea for every 2 finishes you can give yourself a cast on. You don't have to, but you can. So that way, if you see something you want to, or we come up on like a solstice cal.
Okay.
Then you've got the freedom to do that. You've got nice, relaxed deadlines for that. As for the podcast anniversary, your butt's casting something on for that. It's our celebration.
Absolutely.
So that's happening. But I think that's it. I think that's everything for this week.
Yeah. Oh, your check-in with Louise is this Thursday?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for reminding you.
Just a panic on my face. Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you a heart attack. I was just, trying to announce things for everybody.
Oh, which from your guys' perspective is tomorrow. From my perspective, I'm like, oh god, I need every night till Thursday. Okay. But I also knew that I was losing the first 2 weeks of this month. So essentially, I've only had the last 2 weeks of this month to do all of my secret crafting. It's a time crunch, even for me, people. Even for me, that's a time crunch. Yeah, no, my check-in with Louise, it'll be my last check-in of the year with Louise, will be the 1st of December at 6:30 Manitoba time, so that's 7:30 Ontario time. I need to figure out what I'm going to put on for my January check-in. Ha ha ha. You know what I should do? Justify a cast on.
Okay.
And hold up some skeins and projects I want to make them for and get everybody to vote for a new cast on for me.
Ah. Yes.
I like this thought. I like this
We
thought.
do like voting on what things other people make.
We
And
really
don't
do.
have to. We do like to craft vicariously.
Really do. And then we've got this coming Sunday on the first live will be our last secret craft off check-in. And you and I have to decide what we're going to craft on in December to talk about in January. And the voting for that opens up on Friday because I post on the Friday and then Diana posts on the Saturday. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is perfect. Okay. Now I think we've covered everything, right?
Oh, I hope so.
So does I. So does I. All right. I'm going to say, and then until Sunday, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.